So I want to jump on Vancouver. I understand that they're saying veterans are available, but not Quinn Hughes.
Right.
The elephant in the room is Quinn Hughes, especially if you are shedding good players. Like, how in the world do they navigate the next season and a half before he's a free agent? Like, he's got to be in play at some point if they're as bad as they are. We saw how the extension details snag things up with Rasmus Anderson this past summer. None of that conversation comes into play before July 1. Like, what the hell are they going to do with Quinn Hughes, and where does that leave this franchise in Vancouver?
Well, my sense is that if the Vancouver Canucks can't right the ship, and some of this is out of their control. I mean, their injuries, again, I know it's an excuse, but you lose Thatcher Demko, which, they've had to deal with this historically, but, he's out for a number of games. Then Kevin Lankinen, who's a decent backup goaltender, he has to take a personal leave. So now you're into goalie 3 and goalie 4. You look at their blue line, they've got 2 young guys with just wild inexperience back there that are overwhelmed, playing way too many minutes. David Kampf was pulled off the scrap heap in Toronto. And he's playing second line center for the Vancouver Canucks. So, let's play the what if game. What if Jim Rutherford and Patrick Galvin can't bring in the pieces that are going to help this team be a playoff contender moving forward? And you do get into the second half of the regular season. Now you're closing in on the trade deadline. Do you have to have that conversation internally? When is the best time for us to go to Quinn Hughes and say, look, man, you're the captain of this franchise. Hate to put you on the spot, but you're going into the final year of your deal. If you can't tell us today, prior to this season's trade deadline, that you're willing to at least consider extending, if you've made up your mind that you're not extending in Vancouver, we need to know this, because that has to be incorporated in our thinking at this trade deadline, and then obviously in the offseason. Now, you draw a bigger crowd if Quinn is legitimately in play in the offseason because of cap flexibility and all of those things. But there's also the thinking that what if a team steps up like New Jersey? I mean, we all assume he wants to play with his brothers, right? What if New Jersey goes, okay, we'll give you the assets and then some, because we're depleting our roster to some degree, but it also allows us another playoff push with one of the world's best defenders and offensive defenseman in Quinn Hughes. So they're trying to prevent that. I know Quinn Hughes is committed and invested in trying to win with the Vancouver Canucks this season. But if it's out of his control and the holes are too deep to fill, then I'm allowing those scenarios and those possibilities to come into play.
Yeah. It's not a great spot for Vancouver, but you look at Colorado, you can turn a negative into a positive. It doesn't mean you just gotta, like you say, you gotta was sociopath. Is that what Noodle says? You just have to be able to just eliminate your emotion and just make what is the best deal for that team.
Agreed.
Hey, buddies, thanks for watching. We appreciate it. Also, if you could throw in a like and subscribe, it does help us out with what it is we are doing. And check out more at flamesnation.ca.